So I throw my hat into the ring and hand out everything. Tell a tale about yesterday. Angels on your clothes from the city that never sleeps, so get eaten alive. Catch a bus without a frown if they say I don't look down. Some say you gotta pay your dues, but not today.
Lucy from
Hey.
Acid Test, welcome to Indie Week.
Thank you for having me.
So you have a story of rock and roll and a story of addiction and recovery. Can you share a little bit about how those two worlds meet?
Yes, they definitely collided with me. Being in the band Acid Test was a great, exciting time when we first got together, and it happened real fast when we got signed real fast, and we found ourselves playing a lot of shows. In terms of being on stage, I always had, and I think a lot of people in recovery have other issues going on. For me, it was anxiety, and I did find early on that having a couple of drinks before the show really alleviated all that anxiety, and I was good to go, and it seemed to work. And that's the I guess the elusive part is that it did work at first. I had no idea that I had this alcoholic tendency, possible, genetic, environmental, whatever it could be. It's so individual. No idea. No plan to become one of those people who did that. It was working. I was high functioning. The one thing I did learn in recovery is that it is progressive. This disease is progressive. I didn't believe it at first. I really did, even in early recovery, think I could go back to that drinking 1 or 2 glasses of wine a week, and it didn't happen. And so basically that progressed. I didn't anticipate that those 2 glasses of wine becoming, well, how about middle of the afternoon type drinking, and I needed it more and more.
So originally drinking was just a crutch. It just sort of helped a little bit, right? You were a little bit
I
nervous.
thought it was one of those, like,
Yeah.
everybody people, like basically those normie people that can, you drink socially, they call it. You drink to unwind, you drink as a reward, you drink, etc. That's how I approached it.
And then at some point it becomes your priority in life.
Yeah. I think knowing that, and even then, when it starts happening, that, oh, well, what time does the liquor store open today? Yeah, well, I gotta be at this appointment, but I can make the liquor store. Making sure that I had that, looking forward to the end of the day when I can have that, and then it became, why not take it with me? And then it became, no, I'm not going to show up for that event or meeting that person or Christmas dinner for that reason, because I'm kind of busy drinking, and guess what? I passed out. That's how it kind of went for me.
And so how did it get to a crisis point in your turnaround?
I started losing a few things. A lot of self-respect for one, but losing relationships because I wasn't showing up for people. I wasn't there for close friends, and didn't think that I needed to be, because it became my relationship. It almost is with addiction. It does become your primary relationship, and so all the other relationships kind of fall by the wayside, and health started not being there. I'm not eating because I'd rather drink, not being around family, and they kind of want nothing to do with me. You become very isolated, and that's what happened to me. And along with that comes depression, and I don't know if there's a bottom we can talk about. I mean, I hit a few, and then the main one, it was an internal bottom.
Yeah.
It was, yes, you lose stuff, you lose people, things, jobs, and your health. But it was, I think for me, it's like that spirit. I lost my spirit. I lost my will to live. And that hit me hard, because in the end, we have ourselves in the end, and I was losing myself, and I guess I had that moment of clarity that allowed me to see, wow, is this my life? Is this what I'm going to be doing every day for the rest of my life? And it was disgusting. I was pretty much suicidal, and I thought, I want this over with, and I reached out for the last time, hopefully, to counselor, treatment center, went into treatment for a second time with a different attitude, a lot more. In the end, for me, it was not just admitting, it was accepting that I have this illness, and it's not a bad habit, and it's not a moral defect, and it's not like, why can't you just stop? It's a disease, almost like an allergy. My sensitivity is with alcohol and other substances. When I start, I don't know what is going to happen, so I've accepted that.
And in early recovery, at first you thought, you couldn't have music and recovery.
Music was like my passion. I left school at 18 to pursue, at university to pursue music, join a rock band, and my passion in life, that was my career choice. And upon going to treatment and getting out of treatment and going on with life, I needed personally to put it aside, because for me, and how those things that influenced you, we call them triggers in recovery, and music was a big trigger for me, even just listening to music. For a while, I kind of needed to zone in on this new way of living and try to make it automatic for me that I'm not thinking of drinking anymore, and I did put it aside for a while.
Now that's the good news story in acid test, but you weren't the only person in acid test with substance use disorder.
Yeah. With our DJ, Mike Harland, DJ Jus Rite, he passed away in 2012. Unfortunately, it had much to do with this disease. And wow, at that time I had just become, just clean and sober for a couple of years, and that affected all of us. I had seen signs of it even when we were touring with Mike. Again, I never thought it would get to that point for him. And that really propelled the whole band into really taking a look at, wow, like Mike, he was always the one who tried to get us back together, tried to reform us, wanted to continue, and to no avail. And then this happened, and sad as it was the catalyst to get us writing again. Even though we were in different cities, it was like, it was just, we almost had a mission here for Mike.
And what was it like rehearsing sober, performing for the first time ever without a couple of drinks to get you going?
I never thought that would happen. I never thought it was possible, especially the early rehearsals for our first gig at Cherry Cola's in 2016, reformed as acid test, and it was scary, because going into rehearsal, as much as I was ready and wanted to rehearse and was looking forward to it, the anxiety and those, like, knowing that, there's beer in the fridge, as many rehearsals, like, I'm not knocking, some people can drink safely, and seeing that on break time, it's like, oh, and with my anxiety, and it's like, wow, that's what I used to do, and I didn't have to do it, and I got through it sober, and I was able to play and sing and remember everything and have a good time even. Who would have thought? So having done that the first few rehearsals kind of propelled me to believe and accept, I can do this sober and have fun too.
And the reason you're not sitting here at Revival with us is Acid Test is playing Montreal tonight.
Yes, we are.
Kingston tomorrow, and then Saturday night you're here at Indie Week.
We're at Indie Week performing at the Garrison, 9 p.m. show. Looking forward to it. This is just like a gift for me to be back on the scene playing, especially, and being here, participating in this particular panel is something that I think that propelled me to even get into the field of addiction, which I work in now, is, let's beat this stigma down. This is an illness like any other, and it affects just like diabetes, just like arthritis, let's put it that way. It's just another condition, illness, and should be treated as such. And I'm here to put that out there.
And you work in, residential treatment with people who, some of them are other recording artists, some of them are white coat professionals, some of them fly our airplanes, work in our military, some of them come from the streets, right? And recovery doesn't mean that, the fun is over necessarily.
That's a good point, Joe. And because it's like, most people, when I bring it up, I don't drink, and they're kind of like, what? Like, how could that be? How could you even? And that was my first thought. I'm never going to have fun again. And it's amazing to see the people you just mentioned, all those types and variety of people actually have fun in treatment. And games night comes up and they're having fun sober and they're doing karaoke, and it's like that's part of recovery as well. It's like, yeah, you can have fun again and not have to be altered. And it's amazing to see them just gain their lives, perspectives, and families back. So it's an honor.
Okay, well, be safe on the road, and hopefully
Yeah,
we'll all
thank
see you at the Garrison. You're playing with Scenic Route to Alaska.
That's right.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. See you at the Garrison.
Looking forward to it, and thank you for having me on the panel. Kudos to Indie Week Canada and Cam for having this panel.
Everything and tell a tale about yesterday.